What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over each and every one of the new NBA is back players in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, I did briefly talk about each and every one of these cards in yesterday's video, but I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into these guys, as well as showing you guys what their releases are like, all of those things. Now, as we do dive into it, please smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all the recent support. Scottie Barnes started off with Scotty B. 6'7", 82, 3-ball, 85 standing dunk, driving dunk, 86 ball handle, really solid defensively, solid speed. Like I said in yesterday's video, if you buy Scottie Barnes, you've got to be prepared to badge him out. If you're not prepared to put a bunch of gold badges on Scottie Barnes, I probably just would not buy the card. And that's not me saying he's bad, but that's just the truth behind it. I mean, you're going to have to spend a decent amount on gold badges if you really want to make Scottie Barnes be his best. And you guys can see gold badges are relatively expensive. So from taking him to 16 silvers to all gold, you're going to spend probably 30,000 MT on just that alone. And that's not even talking about applying any of the new badges. Now, let's take a look at Scottie Barnes' release. Ooh, the cold zones here in shoot around, at least for his play now card, aren't great, but could be different, obviously, in the actual game type setting. Now, I will say this, Scottie Barnes, release-wise, isn't bad. I think it's fine enough to use and have success with. To me, it's just on the slower side of things, and that's maybe my biggest concern for Scottie Barnes. I feel like, you know, his player model is not bad, his movement's not great. To me, I'm just not the biggest fan of Scottie Barnes. Depending on his price, could be at least usable in the game, but anything more than usable, I think you're gassing this card. I just do. He is definitely playable, so I know my Seymour's one of my guys is a Scottie Barnes fan. So yes, you can go use Scottie Barnes, but just know and realize he's probably not going to be that great. Darius Garland, 6'1", 94 3-ball, can dunk, 94 ball handle, defense, he's okay, decent speed. I mean, the more I look at Darius Garland, it's like he's okay. But at the core of Darius Garland is, you know, even defensively, he's not going to be as good as Chris Paul. He's not going to be as good as Kyle Lowry. And that's kind of the holdback for me. Yes, Garland historically has had a relatively good release. Yes, offensively, he's probably going to be okay. But when I'm looking or thinking about Darius Garland, it's, well, if he even gives you above average offense, what is he like defensively? I mean, his player build is not great. His release is fantastic. I mean, that is the one thing about Darius Garland that nobody can ever take away from this card is his release is really good. So, I mean, with that being said, I still don't know if he's going to be worth you guys picking up. Release-wise, again, it doesn't get much better, doesn't get much quicker than he's got. But he's still got to be able to defensively at least hold it down. Now, as far as his movement, guys, I don't know. I can't really dribble in this game anyway, so I can't sit here and hate on Darius Garland. But he is going to be an absolute bucket getter because of that release. The release is fantastic for Darius Garland. So look at the leaner. Leaner is kind of troll. You guys can see, especially going left, it's going to be horrible. Going right, not great either. So I don't love his leaner, but his catch and shoot release is going to make this card somewhat relevant. But still, I just have a hard time thinking about Darius Garland being a good card in my team. I just don't see it when I do ultimately look at the card. Next up, guys, we're going to talk about OG Anunoby, 6'7", 86 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, 87 block, 84 steal, 93 perimeter, good interior, 88 speed as well. Badge-wise, Hall of Fame Challenger, on-ball menace, 14 gold badges with some solid silver and bronze badges. Now, I really like OG Anunoby. He's got two really important Hall of Famers. So you'll sometimes see cards with like 4 or 5 Hall of Fame badges, but OG's got the important ones. Challenger, on-ball menace, super important, 14 gold badges as well, which most of them are going to be pretty valuable. For me, he's a perfect small forward in this game. Perfect small forward. And even for a guy like me, like I could easily move Boncaro to the backup 4 and plug in OG over a guy, let's say, like Sharif. I think defensively, he is so worth it. And as long as I can consistently shoot with OG Anunoby, which I know I'm going to be able to do, there's just no flaws in the card whatsoever. I mean, OG is going to be a really, really solid 3-and-D card in this game. Now, the question some people are going to ask is, Ty, what does he give you over Andre Kirilenko? My honest answer, nothing. Like, Andre Kirilenko, to me, is going to be better than OG Anunoby. However, I will say, I think OG Anunoby is going to be good. So, hopefully that, you know, makes it relatively easy for you guys. If you have AK, hold on to him. But I'm telling you, OG's got a smooth release. He's got a smooth, obviously, jump shot. Defensively, he's going to be a problem. I don't mind the normal leaner as well either. I mean, I shoot with it quite a bit, so I should be chicken with it. I like OG Anunoby. I think he's a perfect small forward in this game. He's just a little worse version of an Andre Kirilenko. So don't overpay for OG Anunoby, but he is a solid guy that definitely can hold it down. Next up, guys, we got Austin Reaves, 6'5", 93 3-ball, 75 driving dunk, 88 ball handle. But look at the defense. 57 blocks, 75 steal, 82 perimeter, 73 interior, 89 speed. Defensively, Austin Reaves is not going to be great. And that's the big red flag for me. Badge-wise, only comes with 18 gold badges. Yes, offensive badges are good, but doesn't come with on-ball menace. So if you really want to use Austin Reaves at his top level, I'm not even going to talk about all the rest of his badges, but you're going to have to put on-ball menace on the card. And that badge alone is going to be like 20,000 MT, which is crazy. Now, yes, Austin Reaves is going to be 6'5", but I don't necessarily know if I even love his player model player build. Release-wise, it's fine. I'm not going to sit here and say it's last year good, but it is fine. Like, Austin Reaves' release is pretty good in this game. I do think his release last year might have been slightly better, but I don't know. You're splitting hairs at that point. His release is really good. As far as his leaner, used to be the best part about Austin Reaves last year. His leaner this year is no longer it. And so those are the couple of things that you guys need to know. Leaner-wise, he's no longer got the Pro 2 leaner, which he did last year, which was literally the best leaner in the game, probably. Release-wise, though, it's still solid. I mean, he had a really good release last year. I just don't know. Austin Reaves, to me, I wish he was slightly better defensively. If you do give him that on-ball menace badge, he's okay, but he's still not that top-tier level in this game. Next up, guys, we do see Myles Turner. A lot of people have been hyping this card up, and I just didn't really see it on first look. Let's look at it. 88 3-ball, good standing driving dunk, 94 block, 90 interior, good steal perimeter, solid rebounder, 80 speed, badge-wise, okay. Am I, like, do I need to be, okay, let's talk about him compared to Ronnie Seekley. First of all, he's got a better 3-ball. Defensively, probably about the same. Ronnie Seekley's badges are about the same. I mean, the one thing that Myles Turner is going to do better is shoot the basketball. And that's something that I do need to at least hype up a little bit. It does come with the Hall of Fame brick wall as well as set shot paint patroller. I think here's the situation. If you give him on-ball menace, if you give him immovable, if you give him limitless range, then maybe Myles Turner becomes something special. And maybe I'm just too low on Myles Turner because I was hoping Cat would be better. And although Myles Turner is slightly better defensively, I think the cards look relatively somewhat similar as far as the overall card. But let's take a look at Myles Turner release, because his release is going to be the deciding factor on how good this card is. Release-wise, honestly, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not necessarily the quickest, but as far as me and using the shot stick, I think it's going to be super, super, super smooth. So that's where I'm at with Myles Turner. I feel like the more I use this card, maybe the more I like him. I really do like his release with the shot stick. So that's just, again, something, if you do use the shot stick, to at least look at. But I think defensively he's going to be solid. I think offensively he's going to be a good stretch big. Maybe Myles Turner needs a shot on my squad. I don't know. I just still I'm not sold on him. I'm going to have to see it because, again, is he going to consistently green with me? I think that's the one thing that I need him to do. If he does consistently green shots for me, he's got good enough defense to be one of the better bigs in the game. I guess we'll see. I don't think he's to the level of, like, a Kareem or those type of guys, but maybe he is a really good center. We'll see what his price ends up being like. Last but certainly not least, Nikola Jokic, 89 3-ball, 90 standing dunk, 75 driving dunk, 86 ball handle. The problem with Jokic is his defense stinks, guys. And even if you fully badge him up defensively, there's nothing that's going to replace the 84 interior, the 57 block, the bad speed, bad agility. Like, his defense stinks. Sure, badge-wise, he is pretty solid. I'm not going to deny that. Comes with Hall of Fame range. And so, I mean, maybe as a stretch big, you could get cheesy with Jokic. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, it's all bad for Jokic. But I just have a hard time seeing a card that is not great defensively really be hyped up. I just don't necessarily see it with Jokic. Now, as far as his jump shot, let's talk about it. I don't necessarily want to sit here and hate on Jokic's jump shot. I don't. It is, in my opinion, on the slow side of things. I think it's going to be really tough to green, especially if you do use the shot stick, just because, again, it's so slow. And I'm very early with everything I'm shooting with Jokic right now. But I do feel like it is somewhat greenable if you know what you're doing with the shot, although it is super, super, super slow. Maybe it's one of those shots you just got to shoot with square and live with the results. Maybe that's what I just need to do with everybody, is start shooting with square and seeing what happens, because I feel like with the shot stick, his shot, simply put, is too slow. So I'm going to go through, rank all of our cards that we got today. I'm not necessarily high on any of these cards. Myles Turner is pretty good. Somebody tweeted at me, Ty, don't hype up Myles Turner. Well, him and OG, I think, are the two cards today that I'm looking at are being like, okay, they're pretty solid. Now, I don't think any of the cards are top 5 at their specific positions. Myles might be on the verge. OG might be on the verge. But those are really the only 2 cards I'm looking at today. Myles Turner is pretty good. OG Anunoby is pretty good. The rest of the cards, I'm not looking at today. We'll see what the pack odds are like and go from there. But for me, save your MT overall today, unless Myles Turner or OG Anunoby is relatively cheap. That's going to wrap it up for our video, guys. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're doing it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.